Hey guys, my name is Rafael.
Start over. Apples to olives.
So, so I introduced myself for how long?
You have 15 minutes. Starting
15 whole minutes. Okay.
15 whole minutes.
Okay, so here we have something that I typed up. I'm basically going to use this document to show you guys some really cool photos to narrate the story. So I graduated 4 years ago from ASU with honors, and my degree was in genetics, molecular biology, and I graduated top 4% of my class. While I was graduating through school, and the whole school process, I started my first company, which was an online company, and I sold about $7,000 a year worth of products to 80,000 people worldwide. It was a shoe restoration product. I don't want to dive too much into that, but basically the take-home point from that was that as I was studying biology, I really fell in love with entrepreneurship. And I told myself, after I graduate, this is what I'm going to do after college. On the other hand, I have my mom, who still hopes that I become a doctor or a lawyer. I don't think that's going to happen. I like entrepreneurship too much. So when I go like this, you can scroll down just a little bit. Okay.
So you don't need to.
Yeah, just a little bit. So then, let's go, yeah, right here, please, right here. So I went out looking for my next idea, because you need an idea to become an entrepreneur. And I was going to events, and I wanted to create like a social media application. That was my first idea. And I found it really highly inefficient to just come into a room of people and network one at a time. Shake one person's hand, then the next. I wanted to be more efficient about this. And I thought to myself, what if I could come into a room? I'm going to make it easy for you. When you see all the text, when I'm presenting, you don't have to read it. I'll just narrate. So you can just relax. And when you come into a room, I'm saying, I want to know all the LinkedIn profiles in the room. I want to have a list in the palm of my hand. And I want to choose who is it that I think I should invest my time in today. Who's the right connection for me? And I did some research, and I found out really there wasn't anything quite like it out there. There were similar things, but not quite like it. And I have no previous software experience. And I said, okay, so how do I go about doing this? And there's a website that you can create your own prototypes, your own apps, for free. All you gotta do is, you go to PowerPoint, everyone knows how to use PowerPoint, you kind of design what you want it to look like, select some buttons, drop them on the PowerPoint screen, some pictures, and then take screenshots. You upload the screenshot onto the website, and it creates your prototype. So you guys are looking at the prototype that I made 3 years ago. Basically, you log in with LinkedIn, you select the rates of your event, you can see everyone in the room. Let's go down this. Yeah, keep going. Alright, okay, so I need some software developers to begin this. And I went to my university, I had already graduated, but I went back and I teamed up with different capstone projects, which are students that want to help real-world entrepreneurs so that they get experience. And they helped me build the first version of EventKey. That's the name of my company, EventKey. And they all got an A for working on the project, but it really wasn't up to my standards. So I continued my search to find that technical co-founder. Right here. So this is where it starts getting good. So I applied to some competitions, and one of them was the best Hispanic entrepreneur of the year in 2016. And I'd never written a business plan before. You guys know my background, biology. So I have just this instinct. Like I figured it out. So I looked online and I wrote a business plan. I wrote it and I won. And here's a letter from Senator John McCain that he wrote for me, dear Rafael, signed, and I want a check. I took a photo. So let's go down, please. Pause right here. Yeah, right here is good. You don't have to read that one. So here I met my technical co-founder. I went to ASU and I recruited the best software developer that I could find, and for word of mouth, everyone told me, you need to get to know this guy. He is the guy when it comes to software apps. I pitched in my company, you guys saw the prototype above. I showed him the photo holding the big check, and I also happened to get a full-time job at the Center for Entrepreneurship at WB Carey. So I had all this credibility going for me and all this preparation. So when I pitched for him, he wanted to join the team. So I did a good job at pitching. So let's keep on. Pause from here. A little bit up so you can show the images. So we're going to focus on the images. Alright. So before I joined him, his name is Perry, I did those logos at the top, those three. The company was named Browsing Key before. If you guys ever try to launch a company, coming up with a name is pretty hard. Coming up with EventKey took me like a year. It was called Browsing Key because you get to browse and it was key. Not a good name because people are browsing, they don't know how to spell. So, so we came up with these logos on the top, with the top row. And the logos are okay, as you can see. But when I work with Perry, if we can scroll up just a little bit so people can see the logos in the bottom. Yeah, right there. And I had the idea to fuse an E with a key. So I came up with that one on the left. And then he joined me as a designer, also software designer, and we came up with the logos on the right. First it was a purple one. We used what's called negative space. That's like an E, but it's also a key, pretty ingenious as you can see. And then it evolved to EventKey, like with the gradient. So let's keep going down. Throughout this whole process, I learned equity negotiation, how to onboard someone into my startup. Here's a video about signing the contract. We're not going to watch it, it's not fun. So keep going down. We're very happy. Want to sign the contract? Pause right here. So when you first work with a software developer, they have to break it down for you. So you have this big prototype. How am I doing on time? 10 minutes left? Okay. Alright, so here is Perry and me having this exercise where we dissect the features from the app. Because I have all these features I want to do. So it's like, okay, read the top. This is the only thing I'm going to ask you to read. Do we really need that? That's the question that he kept on asking me, like, do we really need that feature? So we break it down to the most essential components. So let's keep scrolling down, please. Pause right here. So we got together for about 2-3 times a week. We get together at Starbucks to discuss his progress. He was coding while I was giving him the screenshots, the wireframes, the prototype to develop. This is behind the scenes what it looks like in a tech company when you're non-technical like me. You do a sketch of what you want, and then you point why you want it there. So some of you guys already have EventKey in your phones right now. You guys, that tool in the middle. We can enjoy it later. But this is essentially what you see in your hands now. Like I was telling him, okay, this is what I want. Public profile, private profile. You'll see later. Keep scrolling down. We were having a good time. Keep going down. Okay, so now it launches on the App Store. About 3 months after working together, that was like one of the most exciting moments of my life. He sent me a text at 3 in the morning saying we're live in the App Store, and I just couldn't breathe for 5 minutes. I was really excited. Because I mean, how many people have an idea of an app and they just never get to it? They just like quit or something happens. They spend a whole bunch of money, nothing ever comes out. So I was finally in the App Store, accomplishment. So keep going down. I'm all about results. So keep going down. So it was 3 in the morning. Within 5 hours, we had to present the application in an event, kind of like this, for entrepreneurs. And we immediately started getting feedback on the application. So let's keep going down. That was 2 years ago. Pause right here. Video yeah, keep going down. Yeah. Okay, pause right here. Yeah. Alright, so we had an iPhone. I think I should explain to you a little bit more about what the app does. So for this to make sense. So if you guys can remember, it's about going into a room, seeing all the LinkedIn profiles in the room, and exchanging contact cards. Very easy. So for events, to want to pay us to have our app at their event, they were like, wait a minute, so you only have iPhone. You need Android too, because only half the people can use it. So I had to go out and recruit an Android developer. And I was able to find one. His name is Q, a master's student from ASU, who came from India, and he coded the Android app for us. So along this journey, what I learned was that I could get out and find the talent that we needed to take the next step in the company. That's important for our family. So let's keep going down.
How did you fund all of this?
Pause. Question.
How did you fund all of this?
I got my own money. Yeah, I spent all my savings, $33,000, and that's what I had. So all my savings into that, and the rest bootstrapped it. Basically, just a lot of people doing favors for us. When you sell people your vision, as I'll share with you in a moment, like they'll want to work with you for free sometimes because they're excited. Like, not a lot of times they want to do something exciting. So here we trademarked the logo. That's important. We keep going down. So this is where the money starts coming in. So a little bit up. It's fine. All right. So we basically made $2,500 from selling the app to events, so they can use it at their events, and that placed us in the top 1% of the App Store because 99% of apps fail to monetize. Details can go down. Pause on here. Okay. you don't have to go through all this, I'll just summarize it for you. These are stats, I'm big on data, you know my background. So, in entrepreneurship, you have hypotheses. What's going to happen when you come up with this application? Are people actually going to use it? How do you prove if people are going to use it? It all comes down to this. We need to track when people come to the events with the application, how many actually logged in, how many use it, and key thing, how many use the application after the event. So if you guys use it today, will you use it when you get home to continue your network? Will you use it tomorrow? Will you use it next week? So we wanted to see how is that working. Because my vision was to have this list as a cheat sheet that can help you remember names. I'm not very good at remembering names. And I'm not the only one. So this keeps going. So these are some more stats of the application, the downloads. Things are going up, things are doing good. So let's keep scrolling down. Okay, cool. Look at this. Are you guys familiar with the Phoenix Business Journal?
Yeah.
Check this out. Scroll down slowly. Drums. Boom! Okay, that was big. Because we had an interview with the Phoenix Business Journal. They were hearing about the hype of the application. And I was like, okay, we'll have an interview, I'm excited. But I didn't know that we were going to be on the cover. Until I started getting text messages from my friends that morning, like, man, you're on the cover. And I was like, no way. So that was exciting. Keep going down. We had an article. Keep going down. More articles. People like featuring us on the AC website. Keep going down. More articles. And more. And stuff over here. So I went to AC one day and I saw one of my friends, a kid that I met at an event. He was actually wearing our t-shirt on campus. This wasn't staged. I actually saw somebody walking on campus with our t-shirt on. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like, that's an unbelievable feeling. Like when you launch a company and you see somebody wearing your brand, that's so cool. You didn't make them, he actually wear it himself. So that's cool. So let's go down. Pause right here. We had some success. Like the Phoenix Metro Chamber of Commerce, as you can see by the left corner. Her name is Shelly. She's showing people how to use the app. So the app is kind of taking off. It's doing good. Let's keep going down. Networking Phoenix. Maybe you may know this lady right here. Her name is Gailey. She had her event. So let's keep going down. Somebody else. Keep going down. Rebecca. Pause over here. Success stories are happening. So behind the data, there are the cool stories. And this is a lady that met someone via the application, and they started doing business afterwards. And I don't know how many thousands of dollars was the deal worth, but it was a multi-$1,000 deal that they made through the application. And here, I found her at an event, and she's like, oh, you're the founder? And I was like, yes. And she told me, yeah, I actually met somebody, and we made a video. So keep going down. Somebody else that had some really good things to say. Keep going down. This is highlighted in blue for some reason, but if you look closely, it's me and Microsoft. They had EventKey at 2 other events. So repeat customer, that's important. You want to have repeat people. So that's like the biggest client we ever had. Keep going down. Pause right here. We never won, like ASU has these pitch competitions for startups, and they give you money. And we actually never won one of those competitions to our surprise. And that could be very frustrating and disappointing because you see other companies winning that you feel like you're better than them. Like you got better stats, better monetization, numbers speak for themselves, and we couldn't win. So I take ownership that the pitch wasn't as good as it should have been. But it doesn't really strike my ego. Like we lost, and I see like, okay, some judges didn't see the potential that I have in my company, and that's okay. As an entrepreneur, like you need to be deflective in negativity when you know it's not right. But some people may take that to heart, and I found that some of my team members, like it affected the morale of the company. So I was dealing with like morale. So let's keep going down. So people start asking like, oh, why are we not? Why are we not winning? You know, it starts like creeping in you. That starts creeping in. Like, should I be developing this or should I be working on something else? Now problems start to happen. Entrepreneurship is not smooth ride. How am I doing on time? Entrepreneurship is not smooth ride. Things will happen along the way. And people were forgetting to use the app. Like they love the app, but they will come to the events, and you're supposed to take your phone out and then click check in, and it shows you who's here. But that's acquired behavior. Like you're not used to going to an event, taking your phone out, click check in. Like you're used to, hey Bob, how you doing? Like you forget about that. And then when people get home, they will send you a message that they forgot. So keep note of that. Keep on that. Keep going down. Pause. More problems. So at an event, this is Matt. He's one of our biggest supporters. He was hosting an event using EventKey, and he needed me to be at the event so I could remind people to get on the app. So I'm seeing like some friction there. Like, why should I be at the event? Why can't this thing just take off by itself? So the problem that we start seeing is that event organizers, Matt, sell tickets through like Eventbrite or a ticket sale platform, and they have EventKey to network. And that was too much for them. It was like 2 platforms. Okay? This may not be a success story when we get to the end. So we'll see. This is up to you to determine. And so we're like, okay, we have a problem here. So I sat down to really think about what's going on. So let's go down. Pause. Yes. So we need to come up with what's called a pivot in the world of tech startups. It's like you thought things were going to go this way, but you need to adapt and change a little bit. That's life. So I interviewed the whole interview process all over again. I had to call event organizers like, hey, what do you think? If we had these features, would this work? A lot on the phone, talking, meeting with people. Let's keep going down. And I found out all the different things that need to be changed. Pause right here. So I came up with this map. This is what the software needs to look like now. We built the Rolodex, which is the app that we have now, but we need to build a web component which sells the tickets online. Let's keep going down. Pause over here. So then I went out and I got letters of intent. This is very important as an inventor and entrepreneur. Before you develop something, you need to go out and make sure that people are willing to pay for it before you invest money in developing it. So, I mean, if you read some of like the Rick Murray, top right corner, he's the CEO of ASCA, like a networking organization, and he said that he will be willing to pay $100 to $200 per event. Good stuff, good letters. Let's go down. More letters, validation. Keep going. Keep going. More validation, more validation. Let's keep going, keep going.
2 minutes.
Okay, I'm not making it. Keep going. Okay, pause right here. So, after all this validation, I need to go out and get more software developers. But I didn't have money. I already spent all my money. This is okay. This is the whole topic of today's lunch, right? Like the money, like we get stuck right there. Like you have all these letters. Software could be millions, maybe even more. But then it's like the money. It's always that friction. I don't know. I'm looking at some of the stats and Terry shared them. Like maybe I fall under some of those stats. I didn't know how to connect with the right funding partners. That's me. So I went out and got some students. And when students, they just graduated from developing software development boot camps, it's their first gig out of there. So it was very tough to lead them, to develop the pivot. And if you scroll down, I failed at leading them. I didn't succeed, and I take ownership for that. So it hurts when you fail. So I read a whole bunch of books about leadership and how to lead software teams. So that's Jay, my co-founder in the background. So let's keep scrolling down.
So how did you resolve your money issue?
But then, we didn't solve it. Okay, so let's keep scrolling down. Wait, skip up, don't click that. Keep going down. That's fine. Okay, off my memory. What's under that? Yeah, so we didn't solve that problem. And we're stuck there, and I have to either contemplate leaving all the way, we have to scroll down, or we get up to this point, which would be very unfortunate. Or selling the company, we got a couple of bids, but that's where we're at right now. So
what have you pursued? Have you pursued any traditional lending?
we talked to investors, we talked to 7 investors around the valley, and it's like they want a second meeting, they're interested, but then it's like they want a little more traction, what they call. So 2,000 users and $2,500 in monetization, being top one in the app store, it's not enough. Like we need to reduce the risk by getting more traction, but to get more traction, you need to develop the software. To develop the software, you need the money. So it's like chicken before the egg. You just can't get past, you're stuck. And I've been stuck like that for a year, and it's getting to the point it's like, I need to know what's going to happen. Like, are we going to continue, or am I going to go back and get my MBA? So that's unfortunately, more and more words. Like, well, all this is happening, the outside world still looks at me as a successful founder, and they invited me, I won the pitch Hispanic National Chamber of Competition. competition, and here I am with the president of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. They pay for everything, the flight, the hotel, it was cool. So let's go down. Yeah, keep going down. And that's Jay. Jay actually became a co-founder and first investor. The money that he invested actually is not enough though to get us to the next stage. I think that's the end. We conclude there. Thank you all so much.
Questions for Rafael?
What sort of capital do you need still to take it to the next level, the next pivot? I mean, what do you need?
$200,000 minimum.
I know that you said that you were getting in front of a lot of people, trying to kind of sell your app to different people that were hosting these events. It looks like you're using a lot of social media as well. How successful do you think the social media was versus some of the other traditional methods that you used to get in front of some of those people? Because I know social media has become so huge now. Have you done any research on that as to how well social media contributed to selling your brand?
When you say research, I automatically think about stats. I'm not sure I have the stats to back it, but I have a word of mouth. And every time someone sees me, Rafael, how you been? I know you've been up to big things, because they can see what I post. I'm big on posting on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, definitely, social media is a good TV. Everyone's on social media.
I have a question. You mentioned you spent about $32,000 from your own money at the beginning. How is the return on investment? Are you profitable so far to seek the $100,000 to continue, or you're not profitable right now?
No, not profitable, because with software companies, like, you have to invest a lot, and then it goes like this. So the software creation is very expensive.
So being a fortunate one at the center table that had Rafael have lunch with us and let us download the app and play with it, and being in our business that we are out networking all the time, I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's a much easier way to upload contacts and get LinkedIn profiles. Have you thought of charging for the app? I know personally I would pay a nominal fee, $5.99, or some of the other apps are, to really have that ability. And if that's the case, how many events do you, and I guess that's the second question, how many events are you at locally a month, or kind of where's that connection?
Okay. I also want to be respectful of everybody else's time.
Right.
We have 2 more minutes.
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. So this is some validation that we just heard now. Like a user that tries an event, they really like the product, and they're even telling me that they're willing to pay for that. So that's a good sign as an investor if you ever hear that. So if we ever thought about charging, of course. But the thing is, you always want to get everyone on your platform first, and then you start charging down the road. So we took that into consideration for our financial projections.
Now, based on how you used it, sounds like you definitely also support LinkedIn. I mean, have you looked at some of these larger organizations to be a support, or are you trying to sell it to something like that?
I don't understand your question, sir.
So it's working exactly with LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, you're logging with LinkedIn.
You're basically promoting their business a lot if you're going to use it. So I guess my question is, building or fostering some sort of even relationship with LinkedIn or organizations like that where they see it's going to continue to drive business to their sites, right?
That'll be great, but it's not easy. If you're a small fish in the sea, to reach out to LinkedIn and for them to take you serious, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because the potential of the app is huge.
Well, I believe in it. You've done everything else already.
Other questions?
So,
Since you chose us, who is exactly your customer? Like, how do you generate revenue, whether you get the investment or not?
for sure. So we are going after the business networking groups, essentially the chambers of commerce. We had deals with the Hispanic chamber that they already signed with us, and a group like this would have been perfect. My vision for the pivot is that when the organizer, Terry, thank you so much for inviting me today, I really appreciate it. They send you a link to invite you, you just click on the link and you'll see everyone that's going to go beforehand, right? You get the full attendee list with the faces, the LinkedIn profiles, everything. And you can begin exchanging contacts before the event even comes to it. And even after, you still have that list on your phone. That's my vision. So, to answer your question, is the networking groups, the business networking groups.
Thank you, Rafael.
Thank you so much.